Hello everyone, and welcome to Stardew Valley. I think it's time to do the challenge run that most people do, now that I consider myself a veteran of the game. And I think that's to try and do virtually every achievement in the first year. I have some methods to make some fast money, and then I think mid-spring most of that money's got to be spent on strawberries and fruit trees, and I think the fruit trees that you have to buy are apple and pomegranate. Unless you can buy 2 pomegranates from Gypsy, then you can probably get an orange tree. However, that aside, I think I'm going to go with the standard farm, and I have a mod to get rid of the lakes in the standard farm. Alright, it seems that I didn't edit out some things I needed to edit out. I'm showing the map and things and telling you that some of the farms just aren't worth it. So, you think about the wilderness farm, you think that might be worth it. You think the forest farm might be worth it. That's only worth it if you're going for achievements and you're not sure else how to get them. A source of hardwood on your farm without upgrading your axe more than once, because you have to get the iron axe to get the hardwood in the grove. And you need 100 hardwood. We need 10 hardwood for a bundle and then 100 hardwood for your horse. So it's something that you have to earn over the course of like half a season. However, I decided to go with some blue alien guy, because no one ever really goes with the weird guys, and you can always change your appearance later. So I figured I was going to go with monochrome blue, although I wish you could get his booties to be a different color. But yeah, I was poking in at the other maps, and the night farm, the one where monsters spawn at night, you get 2 large bodies of water in it, so it's not that great. And the other farm, the foraging farm, you lose half of your farmable land of grass that you can't farm on, but you can put buildings on, but you can't put any crops on. So that one's actually okay, but I would recommend that one. The river farm and stuff is not all that great, but unless you're going for crab pots. And I think the best thing we need to do right now is worry about getting our farming up. And the best way to get your farming up, of course, is to do parsnips, because they grow fast. People say cauliflower because more experience, but I prefer something faster. And another good way to get a boost on your crops is to try to get as many mixed seeds as you can. And of course you want to get your foraging skills up. So that's killing the trees but not the stumps, because you want to use most of your energy for stumps. Although I get addicted to trying to get rid of other things on the farm, like rocks and sticks and things, because I'm just anal retentive like that and a bit OCD when it comes to getting rid of everything. But getting rid of all those bushes is very useful, because there's a bunch of bushes on the farm, weeds on the farm, that automatically give you mixed seeds, and they're very useful. Although I think that there's a mixed seed, if you plant it in the greenhouse, that can give you a year 2 crop, year 1, provided you can get the greenhouse by summer. It's a rare occurrence, but I want to say that mixed seed is not kale, but artichoke. I think artichoke you can get year 1, because it's part of the mixed seed bundle. And if you put mixed seeds in the greenhouse, it can give you seeds from any season, any of the mixed seeds. And it's useful to clear all of the forage out around here, because you can get more mixed seeds and you want to get the foraging. You want to get as much energy as possible day 1. And having a really good smorgasbord of that many spring onions is really good for foraging and energy. And of course you want to think about your seeds, your tree seeds right away. You want to think about maybe failed snacks, but saving a few maybe to plant. But because tappers are a thing and you're going to need some maple syrup and 1 of each, you know. Although selling the things for cash is pretty useful right away. Those daffodils that don't give you any energy. Dandelions do, but daffodils don't. So it's good to sell daffodils and maybe get some more things. And I'm thinking, you know what, I could sell all these things. Although I want to collect 1 for the bundle, and all I need now is 1 more item for the chest, and I'll have the spring foraging bundle, right? The weeds, trash cans, really useful to search those day 1. And of course down at the beach, that's part of a foraging bundle, but I can get more of those, so I think I'll sell those right away to get some extra cash. Initially, because those will spawn throughout spring. Soggy newspapers, all the trash, of course, you know, I want to grab as many of those as I can. But I think right away, I'm just going to go I know I'm going to need some beans and some cauliflowers and some potatoes. You need to sell 15 of everything to get one of the achievements. And you need to have one of each of those spring crops. Plus you need to have 15 quality parsnips. 5 quality parsnips, and sell 15 parsnips and have one for the spring bundle. So you have to think about all of this stuff from day one. And I'll have to kill all of these, but I'm going to leave one weed intact because it might grow again. It's just a thing I was doing just to enjoy life, right? So I'm still looking for foraging. You don't get the fishing rod till day 2, but you know, a book for the library is nice. And those are good for energy. Of course, just might as well give Linus some things, because once you get him up to 3 hearts, he'll give you some recipes, and you want to get those because you have to have the cooking challenge. You have to get all the recipes from all the townsfolk. Although you can't do the Master Chef challenge until year 2. So technically, if you're going to do all the achievements year 1 except that one, you're fine. But so you don't really have to make friends with people until year 2, but it helps to have a head start, certainly. If you know what you're doing and know what you need to save, you can save all the ingredients till next year. But you still need to have some to save, and maybe 4 or 5 to keep in the chest for cooking, to have one of everything to cook by. But even if you miss it year 1, you can plant it year 2, because you're not going to get the hearty breakfast until year 2, because you can't buy recipes from anyone. So of course I'm looking for mixed seeds all around the map. It's 8 p.m. and I want to use as little energy as possible, because I want to get as many seeds as possible. And all the weeds, of course, have a chance of dropping them. They give you fiber more than anything. But as many seeds, I think I get maybe 5 or 8 seeds, which is a really good head start, because you can cauliflower. And the mod I have installed tells me what I plant right away, which I think should have been in the base game to begin with. A lot of mods I have are just quality of life mods, although I do have the automate mod, and this mod that has no water on the farm. So that is kind of cheating. And in retrospect, I really wish I hadn't, and I really wish I had gotten the basic farm, because I didn't want to really be accused of cheating for this challenge. And you might say, nope, it's not the right challenge unless you have the base farm and no mods. And I agree with you on that. But of course, you have to make a chest right away. You have to get enough wood by day 3 or 4 to get, sell that stuff. To get the bridge to the beach fixed, because you want to get the foraging stuff over there as soon as possible. And I do want to go to the mines on day 5 or more, or later on, and try to get my axe up to silver, but it's not that easy to do in spring when you also have to grow all the crops for all the achievements. You can't get into the secret wood as quick as you can possibly get in there if you're trying to get all those achievements year 1. So it's impossible to have the energy to go mining, to get down to 440, to get the silver, the 5 copper and the 5 silver bars you need, plus all the money. Mining can get you the money, but you gotta have the energy. And of course, you need the star drop for that. The first star drop you can get is the Summer Festival. Of course, you get the star drop for getting to floor 100 in the mines, I think. That's a star drop you can get as soon as you can delve down. And I might try to do that sometime late spring. But if you want to catch all the legendary fish, you also have to catch the legendary in spring. So you have to get your fishing up. So fishing is a thing. And you have to fish a lot. Which, is not bad. I mean, I did my time fishing. I caught all the fish I needed to catch. So I didn't want to waste my time trying to do all the fishing over and over again. So I think what this playthrough represents is your potential for getting all these achievements, that you can do it. And I've done it, legit. I've gotten every achievement except the Master Chef achievement, year 1. It's really hard. It's to get the community center year 1, which I did. To get befriend everyone, which you can start working on. You can fall, I guess. Fall bundles. You'll have more energy, I hope. And here I have more seeds to plant. I bought some. My first geode. I bought some potatoes and some bean starters. Day 2. And then I'm going to wait on the parsnips, and of course sell more of those and get more of those later. Daffodils, sell those, sell leeks. Leeks are just energy right now, but of course I want to make sure I have it. And I think that leek I needed, that was the last leek I needed for the bundle. So I'm saving that. That chest becomes like a bundle chest, so you want to put all the items you need in that. You can't complete any fish bundle in spring. Well, technically the crab pot bundle you can. You get the crab pots by fishing right away, and then you can complete that in spring. But you don't even have to make a crab pot to complete the crab pot bundle. You can just catch everything just by foraging it on the beach, actually, and getting the crab in the mines. So, well, it doesn't count to catch in the pot, because you have to sell those things too. And catching those in the pot is how you get all the catching achievement. So you have to catch everything. Crab pots are nice. I have the automate mod, so I won't have to worry about crab pots when I line them up, you know. And that just saves some time. And you want to use as much energy as you can in a day, and especially foraging. Try to get to foraging level 4 to get that second berry bush. You know. Some trees will grow back, some won't. Actually, no, all trees grow back. If you leave the stump, they won't grow back. And it bothers me that there's a lot of all this rubble everywhere on my farm. And of course, you want to save some grass. You're going to need animals, but if you can get enough things from Gypsy, the only animal you probably really need to buy is a duck or a rabbit, because Gypsy rarely has a rabbit's foot, and it's usually expensive. A lot of times she'll have wool or the milk for sale. Sometimes large eggs. So you might need a chicken for large eggs, because she rarely sells large eggs. So a chicken, she does sell duck feathers once in a while. So it might have to have a duck, a chicken, and a rabbit. That's probably what you need. You can get away with no sheep if you use recycling. The recycling things, the soggy newspapers, to get a bolt of cloth, and you can buy some wool from Gypsy and you'll be fine. So I'm going to try and buy as many things from her so I don't have to buy as many animals, because it becomes cheaper sort of to buy things from her than to get animals, or at least less effort. And that's what she's all about. I call her Gypsy. She's supposed to be the traveling merchant, but I call her Gypsy. Without having to water the crops, it makes it nice to run around trying to get some more weeds, try to get some more foraging. So, makes you wonder, you want to clean most of the forest up, because those rubble pieces spawn everywhere and they prevent your progress throughout the forest. So if you can clear up the rubble, then it's going to make your life so much easier in the forest. Because the only thing I worry about is trees, if you can get all the weeds. Every once in a while I think weeds spawn back faster, but some sticks and rocks don't seem to spawn back until next spring, if you get rid of all of them. And weeds don't take any effort if you keep your scythe on you. And of course spring onions levels up your foraging. Everybody loves that. And I'm keeping the HUD up so you can level 2 foraging. So, but once you level up your foraging, you don't get any more seed drops until you sleep on it. So that makes it a little bit annoying to look at the trees and be like, oh, you know, I really wish I could kill more trees with the energy I have to get more seeds, because the seeds are important. Field snacks. You probably don't want to use up all your seeds, because you'll want to plant a renewable farm of trees. But it's useful for field stacks, especially in a pinch when you absolutely need some. And I can't believe I found the fossilized palm, because I usually find the fossilized trilobite, but I never find the fossilized palm. There's like 4 artifacts that are the bane of my existence in this game, I think, if I can remember off the top of my head. The prehistoric femur, because you only get that in the wood or the train station. That's one I rarely get. I also rarely get the green doll, the strange doll. I usually get the ancient doll with the asp, but I never seem to get the green doll. That's my second bane. My third bane is the fossilized palm, because I always get fossilized trilobites and never get fossilized palm. And they say it's in the desert, you can get it easy, but I never get it in the desert. I seem to get the tablets and the masks just like crazy, but I never get the damn fossilized. I tend to get dinosaur eggs within the first season. Those aren't the bane of my existence, and I want to say there's one more that I have trouble getting. You could say the rainbow shard, but everyone has problems getting those initially, so I'm not going to call that one of my banes. I think another one of the banes is... It's definitely one of the artifacts, not one of the minerals, because you always get minerals by cracking geodes. So one of the artifacts, I want to say it's the skeletal hand, because I get skeletal tails a lot. And there's my 300 wood. You want to go over there and try to get everything. And I sell all that stuff right away, because I know more is going to spawn throughout spring. So right away, I just want more money. Later on, I save it for some bundles. So I think it's the skeletal hand, the prehistoric femur, the other one I mentioned, the strange doll, those 3, and whatever the 4th one is, I can't remember. If I said it before just now, fine, remember it, but I can't seem to remember off the top of my head. I tend to get all of the arrowhead I get, and then the other, like the small dagger one, I tend to get that one okay. I tend to get ancient seeds by just fighting slimes in the mines, so, you know, that's a thing. And of course I edit out some fishing because I don't want to waste footage on fishing because it gets really boring fishing. And of course, there's only so many fish you can get. You can't complete any fish bundle, like I said, other than the crab pot during spring. So, but you can get a lot of the bundles on your way. You can get the eel, you know, you can get the whatever the night fish is in the river. You can get the largemouth bass. You can get the catfish in spring. The eel's hardest to catch, and you don't even get access to the legendary fish until I think skill 9 fishing, and it has to be raining and it has to be spring. But that's not a problem. I think it rains 5 times during spring, guaranteed. It's going to rain day 3, it's going to rain day 9. I think it's going to rain day 14 or 15. And there's at least 1 more day it rains, if not 2. Guaranteed in spring. So you can set your clock by it. And of course you want to get your foraging up. Always the trees until it levels up, and maybe the sticks. You're starting to feel exhausted, you know. So make a field snack. You know, eat that, and get as many other items I can eat as possible. You know, making sure I have 1 of each. I'm tempted to sell the sap, but I don't. And that stuff gives you energy too, but I might want to sell it. Because here I make a mistake. I'm thinking, oh, I can grab the items and go to the community center, but then I realized, oh, that's right, the community center don't open until at least day 5. About the same day that the mine opens up, you go in, and then finally the mayor opens up the community center for you. So you have to wait a couple days on that. You can't just do it. And I thought you could do it day 4. I thought it was any day past day 2 that it would work. And I forgot. Nope. It was either day 5 or day 6. And you're not going to get Gypsy until day 5. And she's the one you want to save up some money for initially. You want to hopefully have enough money for an ancient seed or enough money for a coffee bean. Because you have to sell a coffee bean. I don't know if you have to sell 15 coffee beans. Like, yeah, I think you do. That's one of your crops. So if you can buy a coffee bean from her in spring, it's very useful because it multiplies a lot, and then during summer you'll have a big coffee crop, which will set you up in summer. The legendary fish will set you up in spring if you can manage to catch it, which you need to if you do this challenge. So keep that in mind. And I see that there's little wormies over there that I want to grab, but I'm going to look around on the beach first and try to get those. I don't miss the wormies. You know, I'll come back and get them. And of course, clay. You know. You can get books for the library before the library even opens for you to donate. So that's a thing. And it's really useful when you get like a loaf of bread or cranberry sauce or something in the trash, you know, because then it just sets you up. And I'm trying really hard thinking, what do I want to buy, if anything? Because it's day 4. And parsnips are ready to harvest tomorrow. It seems the parsnips, 4 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, they should be ready to harvest day 4. But it's 4 growth days. So you have to harvest them day 5, day 9. So you can't get 7 harvests of parsnips, you can get 6. Unless you speed grow with deluxe, and maybe you can shave 1 day off. That was very lucky right there. Getting a diamond and a Neptune sword. The Neptune's glaive is probably the 3rd best weapon in the game. Getting a diamond, I'm just going to sell it right away to get a boost in money, because you're assured to get another one for Gunther before the end of year 1. Getting the museum completed year 1 is nigh impossible. And here I'm going for Fisher, because I've done the Trapper before. And if you're going for achievements, even if you're going for achievements, the Trappers are only useful for a niche. They're useful if you want free fertilizer for life. That's what they're for. Other than that, they're not so useful. And I think you have to have the cat to make Grandpa really happy, or at least it gives him a bullet point when you have a happy pet. So I did the pet, even though I really don't care and it's just a waste of my time. Here I'm hoping I get 5 golden parsnips, but it turns out I only get 2 golden parsnips. But that's fine. You're well on your way. 1 or 2 more harvests and you should have 5 golden parsnips, especially if you get big harvests like 40. But trying to get 80 or 120 harvests means you have too much to water and you run out of energy before you even water it all. So you have to have access to energy. And here it's useful to get that rare seed, because you need one to get... I was tempted to buy the beet seeds, but whatever. And the pomegranate is one of those things where it's useful to buy, Pickles are artisan goods, but I didn't buy those. But I did buy the pomegranate. Because if you buy 2 pomegranates, you're set for the wizard and for the artisan bundle. So you only need 1 tree. You don't need to buy the pomegranate tree. You only need to buy the apple tree, because you need 6 apples to get all the bundle, and you're not going to be able to buy all of those from Gypsy, probably not. So of course you want to get chests, at least 2 chests. And I've opened up the bridge, that's 300 wood, the chests are 100. So I'm going to need more wood. But you need the space. I need the recycling machine. So I'm thinking, okay, what resources do I need to get the recycling machine? The Neptune's Glaive was a nice find, again, and it was nice to find a rare seed right away because you need it for spring. Here's where the community center opens. But, you know, and I'm stupid here again because I didn't remember that once you go in the community center, you first have to search the golden tablet. Then you have to get the note from the wizard the next day. Then you can start donating. So, stupid me one more time forgets the order of things. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe I'll just sell the extra and buy more parsnips, because 40 parsnips is going to train farming. And you're going to need cauliflower and other things. But the mixed seeds I planted, some of them are going to give me some of those. Potatoes, cauliflower. They won't do beans, but they'll do some more parsnips. There's a few crops they won't do. But I'm going to need a scarecrow, obviously. I kind of like the farm with the water trough, but at the same time I don't like where they put it. I wish they had put it behind the cell bin. I don't know why, because that takes the place of where I want to put the road, you know. When I make things pretty, then again I could extend the porch by 1. So I'm thinking about that kind of stuff later on for aesthetics. But this is just a challenge year 1, so I'm not sure afterwards I get all that stuff. Then you can take it easy and do the cooking challenge year 2 at your leisure while you get people to like you. Because then you don't have to worry about the crops. You do all the crops year 1 with the red cabbage, and you don't have to grow. You can just then grow cash crops year 2. Big cash crops. Hopefully you have a coffee bean. And you can just grow a giant coffee farm in spring. Or sell strawberries from year 1. Strawberries from the first day with Deluxe Speed Grow are going to give you, let's see, 8, 6, then 4. You're probably going to get some 7, 12, like 4 harvests out of strawberries, which is useful because they're pretty good. But you have to sell 15 strawberries, and you have to have some for cooking recipes, I think. So, yeah, you need, and this was a lucky find, like all these foraging skill up the ass. So you need a good stockpile of 20 straw. You need like 20 of everything. 21 if the community center needs it. Or more. You need to sell 15. You need to have 5 for cooking. You need to have 1 for a bundle. And then 5 golden ones. So, I mean, you have to grow a lot of a crop in order to get the golden when it's part of the quality bundle. Like melons. At least he sets you up with like 5 or 9 melon seeds, the museum guy, Gunther. So that'll give you a head start. But you need to buy probably 40 melon seeds in spring right away. So, summer right away. So, you need to worry about money. And clay. Although it's useful to build a silo, I think. I don't think you can start worrying about animals until summer. But it's still one of those things where you need to worry about everything. And how are you going to get the money? You know, I'm trying to balance growing crops with going into the mine to upgrade your tools. And if you don't do mushrooms and you want to do the back cave, then you need to get access. You need to get access to the grove really quick, because that's the only time you're going to get the waffle mushroom. Because otherwise you're going to have to wait till year 2. Because they won't spawn again, obviously, in the spring if you miss it. So it's always nice to get some free cookies from Mum. A couple of freebies at the beginning always help. You'll get some cash, and then cookies, and then cash. It's never really much, but it'll help. So I'm tempted to go into the mines, but yeah, I just gotta empty my inventory out, sort some sorting, make sure that I only really have this chest is like reserved, I think, for just community center stuff at that point. No, I did the whole 2-year completionists challenge, so I just want to do the year as many as you can. I did, within 2 years, every achievement. And that is not easy. If you're playing semi, not casual, But here it's like, okay, I skip the cutscene, I make sure that I'm all toked up, now I can understand the language of the freaking, whatever they're called, and then, Junimos, and now, hey, you know, more foraging, and this was actually a lot of foraging, yay! So now it's day 6, and I know that, the crops are going to be harvestable in another few days. I don't have as many parsnips as I would like, but here's some other things. I think we need an urchin for one of the artisan bundles from Emily. She's all weird and needs that. Might as well take one of these quests. Even if you don't complete them, there's no penalty for not. There's just a reward if you do, which is nice. And I love finding that cranberry sauce in the trash. That was completely awesome. It just fills you right up on energy. It's like having 2 energy bars in one. It's a decent luck day too. So, you know, 125 energy right there versus 130. So yeah, it's 9 onions right there. So, and I think I'm debating whether or not I want to sell the urchin or keep it, because I'm like, okay, yeah, an urchin's part of the bundle, but I already have one of the coral pieces. So I'm wondering if I should keep the cookie. But I think this is probably a good day to fish. It's raining, it's 11 a.m., and you can catch a lot of nice fish up here in the lake. And the mine is currently open now, but I think it's time to fish. And we're done fishing. From 2:50 p.m. I think it's because I want to ditch some of this stuff and then probably fish in the ocean to get all of the rainy crops I can get. From rainy in the day up at the lake to rainy at night in the ocean, which is an eel. I think I want to grab an eel, and I'll sell most everything that I don't need, because, you know, gold largemouth bass sells for quite a bit. You gotta spend money to make money, and of course you want the bag. You gotta have that extra space, and later on you're like, oof, I need the 3rd bar. I like to fish down at this dock. Makes me happy. Got 7 nice gold eel. So, you know, get your fishing level up. I've got level 8 fishing now. Yeah, level 8 fishing, day 6. Which, yeah, you can do it. It's not hard. It just takes a lot of effort. And so I want to go in the mines. I want to try and get some things, but then I realize, yeah, I probably can't do that right now. My inventory is probably too full. So, put all that stuff in. I got an egg, but I'm not giving it to Gunther because I want to incubate it, of course. Get a bunch of dino eggs. And Fan, you gotta have some seaweed. I think you need like 1 seaweed to make a maki roll. And I think you need 1 algae and 1 white algae to cook as well. So you gotta have some of those saved up. But most of them you can sell, and most of them you can eat. So, of course, try to get down to floor 5. Those crabs, it's an achievement that the Adventure Guild wants you to do, to kill a bunch of those. An achievement to kill just about everything in the mines. 1,000 slimes, you know, you're well on your way. And amethyst, that's useful. And I got the crab right there. Usually I have to kill a few of those before I get the crab, but it's useful that I got it. So, of course, I'm out of energy. But I got the crab for the crab pot bundle. And I got down to floor 5 at least. I want to build a scarecrow, because a crow already ate one of my crops, so I think it's time to plop one down. There you go. Now my crops are safe. Little fishing in that bait bin can be useful too, to get some free stuff. But I need hardwood for that. So I need access to the grove again. I don't think I'm going to get access to the grove anytime soon, you know. Because every time it turns around, you need more crops to get the bundles, you know. Although later in the spring, if you get enough gold parsnips, you don't have to worry so much about crops. You get all the crop bundles, you get enough to sell 15, you should be fine. Right. And mixed seeds help, you know, and of course leveling up and farming helps, you know. Crop bundle, there you go. Oh, and I made a discovery a little bit later in this episode. If you sell your foods to Pierre, then it doesn't count for the achievement of selling 15 of every item. Okay, so here the poppy and the rare seed. The rare seed is useful, and I want to buy those. And so the poppy, so I don't. You can just have one for the bundle, you know. So I'm tempted to buy the poppy, and I think I do. I probably shouldn't have, because I'm going to have to sell poppy anyway. 15 poppy, right? Although I'm not sure flowers are part of that achievement. But look at that rare seed was tempting, but might as well get some free money, right? What was I talking about? I was talking about crops. Once you get your crop situation under control, hopefully by the 15th, because if foraging level 4, the 15th rolls around, then you can get 2 berries per bush, and you want to spend the 15, 16, 17 harvesting the berries, because that energy is going to be very useful. Better than spring onions, because there's just so much of it. It could really help clear out your farm, or really help delve deep into the mines, which might be useful on a non-rainy day. Of course, you know, I'm trying to get foraging up, and all the wood is necessary for all the things I want. And of course, I'm concerned about all this crap, which I probably shouldn't be, but it just really bugs me. I can't help it. Just totally OCD about all this crap. I'm like, please just get rid of it. And I'm like, okay, I'm out of energy. And I don't want to waste all of my seeds, I don't think, on field snacks. So I'm just like, okay, it's 1 p.m., but yeah, let's actually get some more energy, because I think it's time. You can always fish for more energy, get a net gain if you're good at fishing. So eat some of these onions, get some more resources, of course, because why not? I mean, I just pulled a smorgasbord of them out of the ground, so here you go. And I think I eat one too many here before I realize, oops, I'm full, you know. It's Mayor's birthday, but I'm not going to care. I just want to clear some more of my farm, because my farm is really annoying me right now, and you still need a bunch of energy to clear it all out. So of course I don't even get close to clearing it out. And I want to save some grass for when I get a silo. That's the first thing you should buy. Most of my money gets locked up later on this month. You buy a tree for the fall, you gotta buy an apple tree. You also gotta buy a bunch of strawberries, you know, so your money gets locked up around the 13th for a while. So you're not gonna have a lot of money till the end, And I'm really worried, though, getting my money down as low as it gets, without any real serious return and watering crops all the freaking time. But the the Junimo's giving you the 30 forageable crop to plant. I plant those. It's hard to do and you waste a lot of energy, but it improves your foraging skill a lot to harvest 30 forageable crops in spring, just right away. So if you're concerned about your foraging skill, plucking down 30 is useful. Of course, you can get 30 spring onions probably in like 6 days, but mixed seeds, always a joy. Freebies, you know. Up until day 13 or 14, mixed seeds are useful. Because cauliflower takes 12 days, so up until that point, you're safe to plant anything, and it's not going to be a bean starter anyway, because no trellised crop is in a mixed seed. So you're fine there. The starfish is nice to get. Gunther will appreciate that. And of course the oyster and things. Doesn't really matter if you use a gold quality or not for a crop bundle. But usually you don't want to do that because you want to sell those or use them for fertilizer. Actually, using them for fertilizer is pointless too. Just sell them, you know. Keep one for the books. Yeah, I already did that. I already have a quest full of one of everything for the books. So I'm not worried anymore. I'm going to chop this tree down because I can. You used to be able to tap stumps, but you can't do that anymore. It was just useful because the treetops got in the way visually. So you'd want to tapper the stumps, of course, just so they wouldn't get in the way of looking at them, right? So, time to pet kitty and go to sleep. I have the regular sprinkler, but most people want to hold out for the quality sprinklers. But you need gold for those, and I might not have the ability to do that because I'm not delving deep into the mines and it's already day 8. So here I know that there's going to be another crop tomorrow for parsnips, and I'm really eager to try and get those 5 golden ones, you know. Will 40 be enough? Because if it's not, I'm going to have to buy like 80 of them. because you just don't have the skills to pick all the good shit, you know? And it's always a debate. Do you go visit Gunther? Do you give him all his crap? Because he gives you freebie stuff. Do you break open the geodes? And the answer is yes, because it's a lucky day. So I want to do that. A lot of resources doesn't matter, but filling his stuff out is useful. Always, always useful. Because he just gives you free stuff. And even though most of it's furniture, some of it's useful. Especially that ancient seed packet. You know, you get one of those planted and going, then it'll last you virtually all year. Every 7 days you get one ancient seed, you know. Turn it into wine and you're good, really good to go. About as long as it takes to make wine, and you grow another one, right? So it's a long-term investment, but it pays off nicely. 1 to 1, right? 1 keg to 1. I think kegs can make them slightly faster than you can grow them. I think, yeah. So Gunther can have that. Here's some rewards, and there's 9 cauliflowers, which, yes, of course I'm going to. And look at that, 6 iridium pieces in my first break ever in this game, which is an amazing first find to get an iridium piece. I think you need to sell a piece of iridium for the achievement, right? So you might want to hold on to that. You also have to craft one of everything, so you need an iridium for an iridium sprinkler. And I got some artifacts, so yay. Many of those I could have sold. And I bought a piece of iron to get, because I got 4 iron out of one of those geodes, and I'm thinking, okay, I can buy 1 piece of iron and make a piece of iron. And then if I make a piece of iron, I can then make my recycler. But then it dawns on me, oh, that's right, you can't make the recycler until you get the furnace, and you only get the furnace by getting some ore in the mines. So, again, you don't remember order of operations in the game, and then it gims you one more time, right? Yeah. But the 9 cauliflower are useful. Of course you want to plant those, because you're well on your way to 15 of those at that point, you know. I got rid of the stump because it was annoying me. But then again, I don't hoe the land there, so... Anyway, water the lands, get the things, get the energy. Decide what you want to sell for the day, because you need that money. Decide what you want to keep to eat for energy. And then, you know, realize that daffodils don't mean anything, because you don't get any energy from them. Only dandelions. So then, I can drop this finally off at the community center. Finally get this bundle. And of course you get 30 seeds to plant. And I look at all this stuff, and that waffle mushroom is something. You can get a ton of these bundles right away, and that all of the winter pieces can be found in the mines between 440 and 475. Even the crystal fruit, even the corpus. You can get the corpus in the mines, and I've done it. So you can get the winter foraging bundle, get the winter seeds completely out of order, you know. Usually that's the last bundle you fulfill, right? But here I'm just trying to get some ore together so that I can get Clint. So I picked up a piece of copper, so Clint's now going to come and say, hey, you want to build this? But you need 20 pieces of copper to build that. So I'm hoping to get 20 pieces, but, you know. And if I was a smart man, which I'm not, I'd save one of those quartz for the bundle, but I think I end up refining them all, which is a silly thing to do, because you need 1 piece of quartz. So, of course, I want to mine as much as I can. But I don't find any copper veins between floor 1 and 5, and that eats up all of my energy. Killing the slimes gets you freebie stuff, so of course you want to do it. Clint wants stuff that I'm not going to be able to... He wants a sardine, I think. I think I gave it to him. No, he wants 20 copper here, and I don't think I ever get it. I think I already gave him a sardine. Okay, that's what I was looking for. This delicious stuff right here. 14 copper, you know, kill a Dougie, he might drop a diamond, right? And of course, some freebie boots. And now this. Finally, you get enough copper. Yeah. Because you need to make a smelter. And that's enough copper for it. And some coal. Some free coal. And this useful stuff. And that's the first time I think I saw a silver slime. It's actually not really silver, but I was like, is that silver or light purple? I couldn't tell the difference, but then it just splits up into green, so most likely I've seen it before, I just didn't remember. I'm like, okay, out of energy, but I got an ancient seed, which allows me to plant it on 9, and it takes 21 days to grow, so it's going to be done, if I plant it now, it's going to be done probably the 1st of summer, right, to water that crop, 1st of summer, and then it'll grow. I'll get 8 ancient seeds before it dies, which is great. Do you seed them all or do you sell them? I haven't decided yet. But yeah, given that, get the seed packet, get the recipe for it, absolutely. Plant it and go for it. Even if you have no energy, make it, plant it. And here I'm thinking, do I have enough energy to do this? I really want to plant those 30 seeds. So I'm thinking, okay, how am I going to get the energy? And I'm like, well, it's probably going to have to be to eat that stuff, but it's already midnight. But I try to plant everything that day, because I didn't want to lose a single day on that. And I'm like, okay, plant. It's a real risky maneuver doing that, but I did have enough seeds to make just enough more field stacks. And I'm thinking, okay, do I have enough energy to plant? And I did. I think I just had enough energy without having to make another field snack. And I didn't even get 400 bucks that day. And now it's harvest time. Oh yeah, look at my farming skill going up, buddy. And I get no gold parsnips. You can imagine how sad I am. Yeah, that doesn't make me happy in the slightest. No gold parsnips. 40 of those, I don't get any. Which means I'm gonna have to buy more and get really upset. Which means by day 13, which is the flower festival, I think, is not the flower festival, the Easter egg hunt, is when I'm gonna have to get more of those. And I really want to safeguard at that point. I'm like, okay, Gunther can have these artifacts. How many seeds can I possibly buy? How many seeds can I possibly water at this point? And it's hard to do what I do and plant more than you're capable of watering with the energy you have. So you have to have ways of replenishing your energy. And without the advanced tactics of the spring onions and eating the forageables, making field snacks, without that plan in mind, you're not going to be able to do what I do. And here's my mistake. I sold those to him directly, but I needed money. Technically, I didn't. I should have sold them in the bin. Because that was my mistake. I sold them to him so they didn't count for bin sales. And that's when I realized, oh, right, you only get bin sales, you know. So I bought 80 of these motherfucking things, and I have like over 100 crops now. 80 plus at least those 30. That's 110. Plus the other ones scattered about. I'm close to 120 crops now. I know how far out the scarecrow goes. 8 from each side, 2 up, and then it goes into a diamond. I know how much I can do this, and I just know I don't have the energy for this. But damned if I'm not gonna make the energy, you know. I'm like, field snacks, just make them. Use up the seeds I was saving for a tree farm. Not a big one, you know, a small one. Just don't care. Gotta plant them. Gotta get those gold ones. Because do not want to fail. You know, not when you're this far along. So, yeah. And I still have enough time to go see Gunther. And of course I probably want to fish the rest of the day. Because why wouldn't you want to fish the rest of the day? Get more money. The mine is open, and I have some copper bars. A second smelter would be nice, but I keep smelting the copper because of the automate mod. It doesn't become a problem anyway. I'm not in the mines long enough to build up material that much, but you want to get the ancient seed here. It's day 9, you know. Of course, there it is, ancient seed pack. I'm going to leave the seeds in there for him, otherwise they're going to take up chest space. So I'll just grab those in summer. A star fruit in summer. Free star fruit is great. Make it free stars now. So, and of course, I thought I could sell something to Willie, but go and fish. The lake fishing is just more profitable. So, fish the rest of the day. Get some money. Enjoy yourself. Not really. But plant the ancient seed. Obviously. Water the damn thing. And don't waste a single day. You know. I have to give him that diamond. I sold one diamond, but now I have a new diamond to give him, you know, because I fished one up. And There's a ruby I can now give to Gunther, you know, a couple skeletal tails I think I could sell because I've already given him one. Make sure I have everything in there, that's a bundle, and then sell everything else. Pet the kitty, get my recipes. Wild Seed Summer, you know. And a decent amount of profit for not doing much, except fishing.